Hey there and welcome to Matt's Garage. Well, I've got a little project to do on the Neoru here. I just have to replace the front winch. It burnt out in the last video if you saw that. Okay, the winch was fried. And I was meaning to replace it anyways because it was only a 2,000 pound winch I basically just put on there to lift my snow blade up and down. So I'm replacing it with this 4,500 pound winch, which is very similar to the one I have on the back of the car, and that should work out a lot better. But I have to fasten this winch plate to the bumper somewhere here. Okay, I'm making some progress here. Pretty well got that off, but one of the fasteners for it is they're both nuts. I had welded on studs to hold the winch, but one of them goes to the inside and I have to remove the transmission cooler to access it. So I got that all loose. There we go, you can see I actually welded that stud right to the winch. That's been on there so long that collar piece froze onto the bolt, and that's why I couldn't get it apart. Okay, since the last video clip I made up this plate here, and then I drilled it bigger than the size of those nuts, and then I'm going to weld those nuts into the plate and cut all these off flush, all these bolts off flush, because this plate bolts up to the bottom of the winch. So those bolts, this plate is thicker than the heads of those bolts. This plate will weld to the middle of the bumper here. Okay, well, it's a brand new day here, and just picking up where I left off yesterday, and I was thinking how silly it was that I welded nuts into the plate when I have taps. I could have totally drilled and tapped those holes probably in half the time, but anyways, that's where my brain was yesterday. I'm feeling a little sharper today. I also drilled these holes here just to give a little more air to the transmission cooler, especially since the new winch sticks up more and blocks some of the air on top here. And another thing I've had in mind for a while is I wanted to shave these off closer to the hole. So what I was going to do to make sure it was at least as strong is double up this plate. And another thing I wanted to do in that regard is we keep catching the corner of the radiator support down here, which is just sheet metal basically. So I wanted to put a heavy brace down off the corner of the bumper. There, I just drew some Sharpie lines there so you can get an idea of how much I'm going to be cutting off. Probably seems small, but we have hung up on some tree roots and stuff with these before. So I made these brackets, one for each corner. They're all reinforced on the inside, and I ground this corner up. You probably can't tell, but just basically the thickness of that so that I'm not losing any clearance. And just got to make the plate up for these. I got them all cleaned up and ready to weld the plate on. I just got to make up a piece. Okay, you can see how I'm just doubling that up basically, and I'll drill the hole through after I get it all welded here and grind it back. Okay, just a little update here. You can see I pretty well got these all done. I want to weld around in there to join the two layers in there, and then I've ground this back past the depth of the weld, so I'm going to re-weld that and then grind it back again. I've got these pieces pretty well done, but I just want to clean them up a little with the grinder. And then I've decided to go ahead and chop the boggins off these. I never really did finish it very neatly when I did it, and I've always wanted to clean it up anyways. But I can also gain about an inch on my, my front approach angle. So that's the whole goal here, is to raise up the approach angle. Okay, I cut this piece to just continue down the end of that bull bar on the front bumper there, so I just have to make a little bend here. Okay, you can see how that's coming along there, and I'm just going to update again when I'm all done. I ran a second bead over top the first. Down here, I just want to make very sure this can never pull off, because we're going to be pulling on it a lot harder now with the new winch. I'm just drilling some more holes to ventilate the transmission cooler better. This is something I've been meaning to do for a while, but I don't know if you can notice how thick that is on camera, but that's about 3/8 of an inch thick, so it takes quite a while to drill these holes. Okay, I've got a whole bunch of pieces cut, and I've got it all planned out where they fit, so there's just gonna be a fury of welding here. And I'll just set the camera back so you can watch that. Okay, well, I've got it all taped up, ready to spray. Okay, I've unwrapped it and actually gave the headlights a little polish and just put some seam sealer down there where I just had the spot welds so it doesn't collect with moisture. And now I'm ready to put the winch on, so that's what's happening now. Okay, well, I just test ran it and it all works. So aside from winding the cable back in, which I'm going to do outside so I can put some tension on it, I'm all done. So you can see the wiring there. I think it all turned out fairly neat. And it runs in beside the radiator, and I put a bunch of protective sheathing on there. And then just up back here, and I had a void back here, and it's the driest area in the engine bay, so that's where I put the winch solenoid. And then I have a breaker on it, of course, so if anything does go wrong in the system, if something wears through somewhere, it should trip that breaker. Just want to make sure there's no tangles. I'll let that out, and I'll back up a bit more. I just got the e-brake set lightly, and the car's in neutral, and I believe this is a bit of a hill too. Okay, I'll just let the rest in by hand. Boy, I'm loving this wireless remote. I wish I had one for my rear winch. Okay guys, there you have it. Doesn't that look sweet? Okay guys, thanks a lot for watching Matt's Garage. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourself a great day.